We're rolling, AK.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, so welcome both to SANDCAST. This is a double. SANDCAST and the Sandy Knowles podcast. We're here in our Tallahassee, Florida State Beach Volleyball studios. And I'm here with, I feel weird calling you Audrey. I tried calling you Audrey once at practice. Didn't like it.
Didn't go
weird.
well.
But this is Audrey, is it Koenig? Koenig. Audrey Koenig.
Yes.
Now we can just call you AK for the remainder.
Yeah.
How are you, AK?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm curious how, your schedule's packed in a year where you do both indoor and beach.
Yeah.
So do you still feel super busy, or is it because you don't have indoor anymore to go back and forth, like you're just beach?
Yeah, it's been less busy this semester, I'd say.
Okay.
Because typically in the past couple springs, I would be doing beach and indoor for at least the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which was a lot. And my undergrad was biology, so I would have 3-hour labs and studying.
Is that why you come rocking scrubs? Yeah. What are you trying to do with, obviously you don't need scrubs to go to biology, but I'm assuming that's some kind of pre-med or med route.
Yeah. So the goal right now, I'm going to take the MCAT in May and then plan to go to med school the following fall,
Okay.
fall of 26. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do with that?
Right now I'm looking at anesthesiology.
Okay.
Open to anything, but they have pretty flexible hours.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's probably the best if I want to, I don't know, control my own life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So but just beach just feels a little lighter?
Yeah, for sure. And then now I'm just doing a master's, which it's public health master's.
Just a master's.
But it's not nearly as intense, so I'm not staying up late studying. I can kind of control my own schedule. So it's been a lot better.
I feel so my dad has been listening to SANDCAST for, this is our 8th or 9th year doing it. And so he's been listening the whole time. And he says that beach volleyball players are the most well-spoken, but I think that they're the most well-educated of any. Because everyone just gets their master's in this sport. It's either you do your 4 years indoor, you get your master's on the beach, or you can go the Deanna Kraft route, 4 years on the beach, get your master's. Everyone's getting their master's. Everyone's so dang smart.
Everyone just wants to keep playing too. I think that's it. It's I don't want to be done with beach, so I'm might as well just keep rolling.
Yeah, how much more eligibility can we dig up?
Well, I mean, at least I guess next year, the 5th year.
Just beach.
Just beach, finally.
Sweet.
Super excited for that one. Yeah, so I get my first off season in at least 3 years. I don't know.
Are you planning on, there's not much AVP to play over the summer anymore.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer. Were you bummed by that, or were you excited to just take the summer off?
No, a little bummed. I'm not really used to having time off anyways.
Yeah.
Just because indoor we would start up in May.
Yeah.
So I was planning on playing.
You start that early?
Yes. Indoor,
Holy cow.
Our report back date was usually middle of May, and we'd have to do open gyms.
Whoa.
Yeah. So.
I guess it kind of makes sense because your season opener is in August?
Yeah, end of August usually. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
So when you're doing indoor beach, it is indoor, beach, and then you don't, you're not even leaving Tallahassee.
I went home for a week last May. And then, right back to it. So, yeah, I was definitely planning on playing a lot over the summer.
Yeah.
I do have one that Alexis asked me to play, Palm Beach AVP.
Yeah.
We're planning on doing that one.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
I don't have any points left is my problem. I might try to play. I'm trying to get Nick to play that one.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys should. Wait, that would be so fun.
Can you start to plant?
Yeah,
I'm trying to manifest it.
I got it for you.
We would be the dead last seed in the qualifier.
It would be a blast. Who cares?
It'd be so fun.
I think I would. Alexis and I might be last. I don't think I have any points. So.
Yeah. Have you ever played any AVPs or anything? I
did one AVP next last summer.
Okay.
And got second, so I got some points off that.
Sweet.
But they expire, I think. So.
I think you get a 365.
Yeah, they'll probably all have expired then.
Okay. Who'd you play with?
I played with Jade Race.
Okay.
Yeah, she had reached out to me. I was like, "Hey, you want to play this tournament in Minnesota?" And I was like, "I can only really afford it if we win money."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay." And then we won money. And I was like, "That's."
Do you know? Have you heard of the name Logan Weber?
I have. Yeah, he's big blocker.
Yeah. So big blocker, big spiker guy. So his theory, because he plays everything.
Yeah.
And he was like, if the prize money is at a point where if I win, I can break even, then I play it.
Yeah.
And he wins a lot. So he wins so many tournaments to come away with a net $0.
It's good motivation. It is, yeah. So it was a good time, but that was one of those tournaments. It was one day and 2 courts in a parking lot.
Yep.
And so we started at like 8 or 9 a.m. Didn't finish till, I kid you not, like 1, 2 a.m.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was something, an experience.
One of my, in those tournaments, I think I wouldn't want to do them all the time, but to do them here and there, they're so fun.
Yeah.
Because we played a 48 team double elim in one day at Grand Sense, where Paige, Mariah, and Anna all train.
Okay.
And we won. It was match play the whole way.
Oh, wow.
And so we won 6 matches straight just to get to the finals. That wasn't no contenders bracket or anything. Like, you had to go undefeated 6 times to get to the finals. Our first match was at 10 a.m. and our final was played at 2.
Yeah, that's.
And then my flight was out at like 8 the next morning. So I just drove back. I was staying at my buddy Chris Lohr's place. I got 40 chicken McNuggets, and I sat at his table, and I ate those 40 nuggets, and then I went to the airport.
Wow.
That was my day.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. You feel like a little delirious at the end of it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's the road dog life. Well, I know Alexis has some international points, though. Have you considered playing any futures or anything like that?
I would if I could get like scooped in.
Then you can't make money, though. If you're playing futures, guaranteed loss.
Yeah. Maybe a few if it's like cool destinations too.
Yeah.
Getting to like
Well,
travel.
the futures have great destinations.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, if you win, you split like $1,000. So you're gonna lose money. You got to eat it, but it's a great way to see the world.
Yeah.
Because
there's at least
futures
that.
are only 16 teams, so they can put them in really remote places.
Yeah.
Because you only need 2 courts. So I recommend that, and I recommend Norseca's.
I've heard.
You just got to go to California for the qualifier. But usually, like, even if you just show up to the qualifier and you get dead last, the bid for 1 or 2 will trickle down to you, and you can go. And Norseca's are actually pretty easy to make your money back, because if you're the highest finishing American team, you get a USA stipend. So you split $1,600, and then if you win, you split like $2,000.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And the competition at Norseca's, you won't really see much until like the semis.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much guaranteed to make the semis.
That's what Alexis did, right?
Yeah.
In the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. She won that one in Punta Cana.
Yeah, with Solani.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. I was at Alexis and I were at there was like a U.S. training camp over the summer.
Okay.
And I met Zolani, and she's awesome. She was a great person. It was
Really
it was a
good.
lot of fun. Yeah, getting to know her. But I think that we played in a Norseca quali at the end of that like camp.
Okay.
So I think that was like my first like
Got it.
experience with all of that. And it was fun. Yeah. Good
Do
time.
you have what are your aspirations with volleyball?
I feel like that's a
And it's okay to be undecided.
tough. I would love to take it as far as I can. I think it's hard just with like the whole beach not making a lot of money
Right.
thing. I've also like considered the indoor route. Just like it's weird knowing like that could have been an option.
Yeah.
Like playing professionally now, like in the U.S. for indoor volleyball. So like pretty new and exciting thing, but I have more fun on the beach, and I'm like I might as well do what I love.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm just gonna keep training hard, and then have the whole medical school thing to.
It's a good thing to have in your back pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just just doing both as much as I can, and then just see where life takes me.
Yeah. Did agents reach out to you? Because you are a great indoor player. That's present tense. ACC Co-Player of the Year 2023. Who'd you share that with?
Anna DeBeer
Okay.
from Louisville. Yeah.
Such a bummer that she couldn't play in the final.
I know. I felt bad, but the girl that came in for her stepped up big time.
Did all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She did a good job.
But you're a phenomenal indoor player.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that if you had wanted to go professionally, you could have gone somewhere.
Yeah, it's weird, like, just because, like, the leagues are so new, like, there's not really, like, an official way to go about it, but for PVF, like, the coaches would either reach out to you or, like, your head coach and, like, see if you'd be interested, and there were a couple of those, and I think CP and I both were like, hey, like, she's playing beach for the next couple of years, just to, like, let them know to not draft someone that doesn't want to be drafted, but, it's weird to think about. Like, that is also a possibility to do, so.
Because it definitely is. Like, there's a lot of examples of players who did indoor, then beach, and then went back and played professionally indoor. Yeah. I mean, Taylor Sanders doing it right now. Yeah. Where you could do a kind of a hybrid thing that he's doing. True. Where he took a 4-month contract in Indonesia. Not a small chunk of change. Pretty large contract. And then he's going to go play the AVP League. And then I don't know if he would go back and forth, but it's pretty good living.
I wouldn't be opposed. It's
Yeah.
also like with the leagues here, it's only 4 months that you're in season.
Right.
So it's like very doable. But yeah, I guess I would just have to feel it out whenever I graduate
Yeah.
and just see what's like the best option.
Have you always played beach?
No. So, I mean, I grew up in I live in Florida, so
Yeah.
it's like I would play over the summers and
you're,
like
like,
smaller tournaments for fun.
Tampa-ish?
Yeah, Tampa area. So like Clearwater Beach, St. Pete. If there's any like local tournaments, I would play like with my best friend, and we were just indoor girls that would just play over the summer to keep
Yeah.
our touch. But like no strategy. I never blocked. We always played 2 down.
Really?
Like never blocked. And then sophomore year, because I got recruited to Florida State for purely indoor.
Okay.
And sophomore year, coach reached out and was like, "Hey, you want to join the team?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So then I started that spring of 2023. Yeah.
It's 20. I can't believe it's 25 right now.
Yeah, 23 then. That was like the first time I've ever gotten like trained in beach.
Wait, your sophomore year of college? Holy shit. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about your sophomore year of high school.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in college. Yeah. So like,
She's been playing beach for like 2 years.
yeah. And it's been hard just because like I haven't had the off seasons. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's like a total of 8 months of beach maybe
Yeah.
that so.
Whoa, I had no idea you were that new.
Yeah, pretty new. So it's been a lot of growth
Yeah.
each year, and it's just, I mean, I love playing it, so it's just been fun to like kind of commit to.
Do you think that you have so much joy in playing it because it is new and the learning curve is so steep?
I think that's part of it. Like I love being able to get better, and I feel
Yeah.
like with indoor, I've been playing that since I was 8. So it's like the amount that I could get better each year by the time I got to college was way less.
Yeah. You're like
but-
fighting for that 1 to 2%.
Yeah.
There's like teeny tiny gains.
Exactly.
Whereas here, you're like, I've never even heard of this concept.
Yeah,
And
I was
now-
like blocking, pulling, all that. Yeah. So I think that's definitely, it was more engaging for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like added a lot to it, but also just, I love being outside. I love like the chill atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like music at practices.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think it's just much more my vibe. So. Yeah,
I'm
but
glad
loving
you
it.
found it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad you found it when I came here too.
Yeah. No, me,
It's
me
good
too.
to have you out here.
Yeah, I'm always happy to be out there for sure. So it's been fun 3 years so far.
What's the beach culture like in Florida for young kids? I'm surprised that you didn't play more as a kid, because I would always think that like California and Florida would
Yeah.
be the 2 places where beach is just as common as indoor, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I played a bit like just SSOVA. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
Those were like the local tournaments that I would like just play in. And there was a bunch of girls like when I was growing up around like U14, they would kind of quit indoor and just play beach. So like there were some beach clubs like in my area, but I always just thought of it as more of like something for fun for me, just because
Yeah.
like I was like getting recruited by indoor schools at that time, and I was
Yeah.
like I already have like kind of this path laid out for me.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely like, I think growing in popularity a lot when I was in high school, and like
Got it.
my freshman year of high school was like the second year that beach was like a high school sport. So it was
Okay.
like all super brand new, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely grown more since then.
Got it. Have you, because I think I, as a coach, when like now that I'm in the recruiting part of it, I like seeing when athletes play multiple sports in high school.
Yeah.
What did you see transfer from indoor to beach and vice versa?
I think beach definitely helped a lot for me, especially when I was growing up, like over the summer, whenever I would play beach, like it helped a lot with my ball control, like
Yeah.
your overall, like your vision when you hit, your jump.
Yeah.
My vert in college went up like I think a couple inches.
Really?
Post beach, yeah.
Sweet.
So that was a nice little bonus. And blocking too. Like I think for indoor, like you would never really coach like different block moves, because you would kind of just swing block, get
Right.
there, press over. But like putting your hands in different
Yeah.
positions was like something that was really cool, and I think that kind of helped me a little bit
Yeah.
with the indoor game. I don't know so much about like indoor helping beach. I think playing all 6 rotations helped me with like
Yeah.
good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can pull and get a dig, pretty well for
Yeah.
I guess like being a taller person, just because like I'm used to digging balls
Right.
from indoor. So I think that the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Was
Have
being
you ever heard of Mike Lambert?
The name's familiar. I'm not sure if I know.
He's a great indoor player. And then when he came over and started playing the AVP, I want to say 2006, he was the Offensive Player of the Year. And he probably would have gone to the Olympics, but I forget who he was playing with, but got hurt and they couldn't end up making a run. But he said that, I was like, how'd you make that transition so fast?
Yeah.
Because Offensive Player of the Year, your first year. And he was like, well, in indoor, I was used to playing against 3 blocks in the Italian League.
True.
I come to the beach. He's like, there's one. This is a dream scenario for any outside hitter.
Yeah, I would say definitely like the indoor mentality of just swinging.
Yeah.
Like there's only one block. Like for me, it seems easier to put a ball away and like just resorting to shots if I have to. But like you can tool the blocker or you can hit around the blocker and the defender's still not there. That part's nice.
Man, I was laughing to myself when you guys were playing Georgia State and you were handling them, but you hit a cut shot pretty much right to the defender, and then we were side switching, and in my head I was like I was wondering if you get kind of bored just getting kill after kill after kill. And I say that joking but kind of serious because Jose Loyola, coaching at UCLA right now, he's a legend, going to be a Hall of Famer, and he would say like I would get bored because he had this 40-inch vertical out of the sand, and he could get a kill anytime he wanted. Sometimes he'd just hit a crappy high line, and his partner would be like, "Why'd you do that?" He was like, I was just bored.
Just want to mix it up a little bit. I don't think I ever get bored of swinging, but every now and then I do like a shot, and if it doesn't score, I get mad at myself. I'm like, why? Like, you know, you could just swing. Like, stop trying to be cute. Like, you know it works, but no, I haven't found it boring yet.
That's good.
Yeah. So.
I guess 2 years into it, that's a good thing.
Yeah, still new. Still new. So, yeah.
What's been the most frustrating part of picking up? I think it's a new sport. I think even though you play indoor volleyball, I think beach volleyball is a completely different animal. You got different size court. It's a different ball.
Yeah.
Different people on the court. The rules are different.
Yeah, very different. I think setting was a huge thing for me. It took me a while to get down bump setting even. Like my first year, I would say it was a disaster. I can't believe I played at all. I guess they were just having a vision for me. And then last year I got bump setting down pretty well, but I still had to like think about it all the time. I don't know why, like just using my legs and like all of that, the location, the tempos. And then like learning how to hand set this year has been like not a struggle, but challenging. And so like that's just been something I've been trying to work towards. And I think like, I didn't really have to set that much in indoor unless it was like an out of system ball. So like that was a whole new aspect of the game that I had to like
and then even your out of systems, it's like, all right, you're pretty much only allowed to do a high bump set either to the right or the outside.
Exactly, yeah, so.
You don't have to think much.
Not at all. I roll it up there, go and cover, and that was about it, yeah. So that's been, I think, the hardest for me. And then just also like all of the different blocking like lineups that you can do, but I think that's gotten easier with time. I'm still like thinking a lot about setting. Yeah. Is anything becoming more automatic?
I
don't know. I think like I'm starting to figure out when to pull much better this year. I used to just stay almost all the time.
As a default answer, I'd prefer.
I would be like, I can delay and swat this one, and then they would still hit it over me, and I would feel not great about myself. But I think offense has gotten better this year. Yeah, I've been training like trying to swing higher. So that's been pretty consistent piece for me. I think serving's gotten better too. Just using like learning how to manipulate the ball differently. Yeah. Different serving techniques, approaches, and whatnot.
Are you leaving as the all-time aces leader at Florida State?
I don't think so.
I think you're close.
I don't know.
If you're not there, I think you're really close.
At least I had the most this season. I don't know about like career-wise. Yeah. I didn't serve my freshman year. Okay. I wasn't allowed to play back row.
So you done it in 3 years?
Yeah, which I doubt maybe it was close, but yeah.
I thought I read. Either way, you're up there. What was your most effective serve indoors? And is it transferring to the beach?
Yeah. So in indoor, I did kind of like a hybrid top last season. I think that's when I got my most aces. So I would
and
kind
your
of.
hybrid toss, yeah, go ahead.
chuck it up pretty high.
With spin or no spin?
No spin, two hands.
Two-handed no spin toss.
I was kind of forced to do it that way by one of my coaches. He just felt it would be more controlled if I did it that way. So I did it with two hands, but I chucked it up as if it was with one hand.
Okay.
And then I would kind of just do like a traditional like top spin.
Yeah.
And I think it got a lot of aces. Some games it was more on than others, but I think that was fun being able to mix it up in the indoors because I had learned how to top for the first time when I came to beach, or I guess it's called jumps, or I don't know, jump serve,
top spin, whatever.
Yeah, so like being able to carry that into the indoor game. And then this past weekend I kind of used like a two-hand hybrid some of the days, especially when it was more windy. Yeah. I think that it's like fun just to mix it up, have another option.
Yeah, and using Mikasa's is different.
Yeah.
Than Moulton's, because Moulton's, like, I'm sure that you're starting to feel the difference already.
I can.
You can really wrap your hand around a Moulton and generate a lot of spin, but if you miss contact at Mikasa, I mean, it's gone.
Soars.
It's
It's fine. Yeah, so sometimes that would kind of frustrate me if it wasn't like falling in bounds, so I would just switch to the two hand, and I think that was pretty helpful to have as like a skill.
Yeah. It was fun to watch so I watched your guys' matches, UCF. Watched UCF, that was good, and then watched Louisville barn burner. Yeah. That was a great match.
That was a good match. It was close.
I stayed for 3 sets, and then we had to put Austin down.
Yeah.
So I missed the ending, but I was really impressed with you then, and I was really impressed with Kai.
Yeah.
Because the first time I saw her play, I think she was playing right side, or maybe outside, and then I saw her playing libero.
Yeah.
And she hit one ball, and I was like, we get her?
Yeah.
She's on our team? That's great.
She has the heaviest arm I've ever played with or against, so yeah.
She's funny because I asked her the same question. They were playing Georgia State, and I was with them the second time we played Georgia State, and she's perfectly in system. And here's Kai, like big, strong Kai, and she tries to hit this like dainty, like leg kick, cut shot, and hits it under the net. It's like, why'd you do that? You got the biggest arm out here. Just give that thing a rack.
She probably got bored. She's like, man, let's try anything. Bored. Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'll hit the next one. And she hit the next one so hard. Yeah. And she even hit it out, but the girls were so terrified that they never gave her another ball.
It's a mental point. Yeah. I never want to be on the other side of the net. I'm like, you're going to break my fingers. I do not want to block you. Yeah.
Are you guys a volleyball family?
We are, yeah. Okay. So both my parents my dad played club volleyball in college, and then my mom played for JU, Jacksonville University. And they met playing volleyball at like an open gym. They're both from Michigan. And so,
Michigan's a volleyball mad state.
It is, yeah. So both from Michigan, and then they moved down to Florida because my mom likes the warm. Yep. And then, my sister played all the way through high school. Older sister, older sister. And then my younger brother plays, and he plays club for UCF.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we
What's
all played.
What's the club scene like?
I think it's pretty good. I'm not sure. Not like I've never really been in it.
I don't know if you followed him or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty big at UCF. It's a huge school, so they just travel like to local tournaments every weekend. He's having a blast. He loves it. It's a built-in friend group. I don't know. Yeah.
I always wonder. So, like, no one in my family played volleyball.
Yeah.
And the first one to do, I had picked up when I was 24. But Delaney's family is the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. So her dad played at UCLA, then coached under Al Skates for like 10 years, and her mom played, and then they met playing. Yeah. And all 4 of their kids played. So Dee went to Pepperdine. Oh wow. Lindsay went to St. Mary's and did indoor and beach. Kelsey went to St. Mary's, and then BYU, and then Northridge, and then Jake just signed with Jessup, a small D1 in California.
Cool, yeah.
And I would expect like at least one person to get just volleyball burnout.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. So no one in your family got the volley burnout.
I mean, maybe my sister a little bit. Like she had like offers to play at like a smaller school, but she really like was super into culinary, like she like baking and whatnot. So I think she decided just to drop it and kind of start that.
So she can cook things that taste good?
Very good. Yeah.
A skill you're working on?
Skill I just visit her, I'm set. I don't have to.
Hey, as long as you got someone.
Yeah. And both my parents can cook well. Like I just have never, I don't know, I just kind of reap their
Yeah. You can come over and Dee can give you some cooking lessons.
I probably need that.
It's her favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, I could use that for sure. Yeah.
Who do you live with?
I live with 3 soccer like baby freshman
Okay.
at Red Point. Yeah, so I used to live with 3 indoor girls, but
Okay.
2 of them graduated and then 1 transferred.
Okay.
So I was like left with
Yeah.
needing roommates.
Empty nesting.
Yeah. And so I walked in this semester not knowing who I was living with, but they turned out to be great. Yeah, they make me feel old for the first time, which is kind of crazy. I've never really felt that way before, but yeah, I'm like, I guess they're mother in a way.
Yeah, I didn't know if you like. I feel like you, Alexis, and Kara, if you guys live together.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 amigos right there.
Yeah, I invited them to move in with me next semester. No, they didn't want to leave.
They didn't take it?
Nope. So
What are they doing?
they're staying at their place. They just didn't want to move.
Is it just those 2?
It's them and Yana. She's on the indoor team. Yeah. So those 3 live in College Town. And,
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I see them enough. I'd probably get sick
I
of them.
respect their decision not to move. Moving is the biggest pain in the world.
Yeah, I get it. It's just like, we're that close.
But you are.
Yeah.
I remember when Cameron Hayworth came on her visit.
Yeah.
Who she is the Aces leader at Indiana. So it'd be kind of cool if next year we did have the Florida State Aces leader and the Aces leader at Indiana. We had her over for dinner on her recruiting visit, and Karen and Alexis were both going to come, but then I think Brooke and Cam's mom came. I was like, we're kind of running out of space. If Karen and Alexis, like, we can just pick one.
Yeah.
And Brooke was like, you got to keep them together. They're a dynamic duo.
They're awesome. Their energy, they just kind of bounce off each other. Like,
We got to do, all right, so if you had to pick a blocker to play with, who'd you play with?
a blocker to play
Yeah,
with.
at Florida State.
Like,
To play against Alexis and Kara, because that's a match that I would pay to see.
me and a blocker against
Yeah.
Alexis and Kara.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to go with Gela, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just, that straight height. Can run down a high line,
I want to see Alexis and Kara versus AK and Gela.
I think we'd win. I'm just saying, 2 blockers.
Maybe we'll make this happen.
Put some money on it.
When we get to California, East meets West, we got a couple days to kind of mess around a little bit.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
You guys can throw a Paradise Bowl on it.
That's good.
Have you were here last year. Did you do the East meets West trip?
I did, yeah, past
Okay.
couple years.
How was it? Was there like is that your first time playing in California?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
I guess 2 years ago when we went, that was my first time ever going to Manhattan Beach or
Okay.
any of that. Yeah.
Is there I don't want to say myth, the word that your generation is using now is lore. Is there kind of a California factor to going out and playing there just because California is it's the home of beach volleyball?
Like, what do you mean by factor?
So like when I started playing, and I played 2 guys from San Diego
Yeah.
who I would become good friends with, I remember I scored a point and I was like, I scored a point against California.
Maybe more so for some of the other girls on our team. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, just because I was so new to it, I wasn't really
Yeah.
hey, it's cool. I know it's it originated here, but there
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of I wasn't really aware of.
Wasn't hyped up.
Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
overly hyped up to me just because
Okay.
I was just away from it.
Yeah.
I was more of an indoor
Yeah.
person.
I just
so.
wasn't sure if especially Manhattan Beach, because the Manhattan Open is the greatest event
Yeah.
ever outside
Yeah.
the Olympics. And I didn't know if people were like, wow, Manhattan Beach.
I mean, I love being out there. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great place. It's super fun. And I just feel like there's always a big crowd when I'm out there, so I enjoy it. But I don't think I'm
Yeah.
whoa, California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an event on the schedule that you always look forward to a lot?
I love the East versus West. Love the big competition
Yeah.
and just that area is so fun to be in. And then Cal Poly.
Yeah, I've never been to Poly.
Really,
I'm
it's
excited.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's usually one of my favorite trips. Last year it was my favorite.
Okay.
Just beautiful, everywhere around it. Close to the beach. The courts are maybe the deepest sand
Really?
I've ever played in. Yeah, but it's always a fun time out there.
Deeper than Manhattan Beach?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but I remember my first year playing there because we went the past couple years and
Yeah.
I was warming up and I'm like, I'm not moving anywhere. We were doing skips. I'm like, I don't think my toes are leaving the
Yeah,
sand.
I'm not skipping.
I got really
We're doing
scared.
some drags.
Yeah, I felt it immediately. I was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
I think Hermosa is deeper than Manhattan. I've never found anything as deep as Hermosa, except for
Yeah.
Espinho, Portugal.
Hermosa's deeper than Manhattan. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
They're right next door.
Yeah, which I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't know how. I think Hermosa might get more play and it might be a little bit more dug out
yeah.
than Manhattan.
Yeah.
But I always thought, I actually got to a point, because I always trained in Hermosa, we never raked our courts. So if you were hitting a ball like 5 feet off the net, you're hitting on a 10-footer.
Yeah.
It's just so bowled out. But I always thought Manhattan was jumpy.
Yeah.
But then people from like Texas and Florida would come, and they'd be like, this is the deepest sand I've ever stepped in.
It's, way deeper than like the courts here, or especially like the courts when I was growing up, we'd play like at St. Pete. That's like jumper sand.
Where'd you play in St. Pete?
Like I think like Madeira Beach, or like I'm not sure the specifics.
I think the funny part about Florida is that all the natural beaches, not all, most of them suck to play beach volleyball on.
Yeah, they're really
so shallow and shelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like raining, you would get like cut from shells.
We played the AVP Next like national championships used to be at the Sheraton Key in Clearwater.
I think I've played there, yeah.
And I played in shoes. And I was more effective in shoes.
Because it was so...
It was just it was concrete.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't have to worry about getting cut.
I loved that sand though, just because you could jump. It felt like indoor.
You can jump.
I was at an advantage there for sure. But
I heard by the Clearwater Pier, it's really nice.
It is.
Never played there though.
It is. Yeah. There's not as many tournaments out there. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
But,
well, probably. I mean, getting permits for that kind of beach is probably expensive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I really enjoyed meeting your parents at Southern Miss, by the way.
Oh yeah, they enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
They said they like sprung up on you and you were like weren't sure who they were yet. And I was like,
yeah, I hadn't met them.
I was like, you guys, you have to like introduce yourselves first.
And sometimes, like Alexis's mom is a dead ringer for Alexis.
Yeah.
Like, very clearly related.
For sure.
But neither of your parents are your twin.
Really?
I didn't think so.
I've gotten my
I think
mom
you look more like your mom than your dad.
Yeah.
But Alexis's mom and Alexis, you're like
twins.
Clear.
Yeah.
Very clear cut.
Yeah.
And Mariah and her dad, very clear.
Yeah.
But your parents are like, you're wearing Florida State stuff. I feel bad asking who you are because I should know. But I enjoyed meeting them.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to meet them. Yeah, they were excited.
Do they travel to everything?
Yeah. They do. They love volleyball.
Indoor too?
Indoor too, yeah. Especially like this past season, because it was like my last indoor one. They're at almost everything. And then for beach, they booked. They're going to TCU. They're going to California both times. Like, they're going to it all.
Dedicated.
They are, yeah. I think they use it as like vacation as well, just because like fun destinations, especially with beach.
Now they got no kids in the house.
No, empty nesters now. So it's like they really... It's what they want to do with their time. I'm like, I'd love to see you. I'm not going to complain. So yeah, pretty lucky there.
She played your last indoor match.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was weird. It was just like, I don't know. I knew I would miss it, and like, it was definitely a weird feeling. But it wasn't like I was done with college, like collegiate sports. Like I knew I still had beach afterwards.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of just the closing of a chapter, but I wasn't like devastated or anything like that. Like I feel like I had like on to the next, that kind of mindset. But definitely strange not playing indoor anymore for the first time in like 13 years. So
is your schedule, do you keep refreshing Teamworks? Like there's no indoor practice. Oh, that's nice.
It's nice. Yeah. There's some days where I only have like one thing instead of like, 3 or 4 on the day. Yeah.
You look at Kai's schedule and you're like, don't miss it.
I'm like, girl, I know what you're going through, but I served my time. Like I'm done with that. Yeah.
And your body held up fine.
It did. That's a miracle.
That's
I'm not
crazy.
Sure,
yeah.
I'm not sure how it did it. But yeah, here we are. I think I'm pretty lucky on that front.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of create your own luck at some point. I mean,
a little bit.
You treat yourself well.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting sleep.
In a good way, not in like a treat yourself kind of thing. Although you do get, some hazelnut pumps in there.
Every now and then. Yeah. I'm trying to cut back on the hazelnut pumps, but I think just learning to manage it all, and like sleeping. I love to sleep. So
that's
like
good.
I think that's probably the biggest part of not getting injured is,
as your whoop will let you know, it's important.
Yeah, very, very important.
Are you a good sleeper, or is that a struggle thing?
I'm a great sleeper. Yeah.
That's such a talent.
Yeah, it's nice. I have a nice little, especially this semester, I've had like a wind down routine, like an hour before I go to bed.
What's the routine? I
have my cherry juice and yogurt bowl, right?
Okay.
I'll eat that, and then I read a book for 30 minutes, and then lights out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading this book called The Butterfly Garden. It's kind of like a thriller book, which I don't normally read thrillers, but my brother got it for me for Christmas, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a read. So pretty good so far. Much quicker read than the past couple books. I've read some of the classics lately. Wuthering Heights took me a while. Was not my favorite. Emily
Bronte.
Yeah. I think a little overhyped. It took me a long time to read.
What is it? Heathcliff.
Terrible guy. Oh my God, why don't just awful. I'm like, I don't want to. Man, like truly terrible. Yeah, but.
What made you want to go through the classics?
It's a classic for a reason. I'm like, a lot of people love it.
Yeah.
And I had heard some hype about it somewhere. I'm not sure, and so I had gotten it, and it took me so long to read.
Would you do it again? Like if someone asks you, look, I'm trying to go through the classics. Do you recommend me get through Wuthering Heights?
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, no.
And I'm with you.
Yeah.
The classics are classics for a reason, but so many times I can't figure out why they're classics.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot do Shakespeare. I think The Great Gatsby is so boring.
Really?
I thought Wuthering Heights was borderline unreadable.
Yeah.
I just tried to read 1984 and I got halfway through and I'm like, I can't do it to myself anymore.
Yeah, I actually recently read Jane Eyre.
Okay.
My mom got that one for me, and that's Charlotte Bronte, Emily's sister. Yeah, that one was way better.
Okay.
So that was a classic I like. So I'm like, I guess.
Would you recommend that to me?
I don't know what your taste in books are, but yes, more so than Wuthering Heights. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going back to Wuthering Heights.
No. Don't blame you. I'm not a quitter. Like I do not quit books. I'm like, this is terrible. Like I'll see it through. Maybe as a good ending.
Yeah, there's too many good books to read to fight through a bad one.
Yeah.
I recently it took me about 32 years to get to that point.
Yeah.
But if I'm halfway through a book and it's not doing it for me, I'm out.
It hurts. Like it hurts me to like stop, but.
And I want to finish 1984, but I would pick it up and I would be like, I don't want to do that.
Feels like a chore.
Yeah. Like I don't want to feel like I'm eating kale. Like cardboard kale while I'm reading, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, that's how Wuthering Heights felt. I was like, am I on a diet? Like.
I just sometimes give me some ice cream. Give me Harry Potter.
Exactly, Harry Potter. There you go.
What are your all-time books, or maybe not all-time, but most impactful?
That's hard. I'm not sure. I as a child, definitely all of the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
Like that was like huge for me, and that was like a bonding moment with my mom because she loved the books, so they were hers, and we would like read them together when I was like growing up. And then I think I have a list actually of my favorite books, but I can't. None of them are coming to mind right now. I would say I loved Book Thief. Have you ever read that one?
Marcus Zusak.
That's an amazing book.
He's an unbelievable writer.
Yeah, I remember like being assigned to read that one in school, like high school, and I feel like most of the books you get assigned to read in school are just terrible, right? Yeah, and I really loved that one, so I think that one caught me by surprise. And then recently, Song of Achilles.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's about like the Odyssey or kind of like that time period.
Odyssey's awesome.
But like from Patroclus's point of view.
Oh, interesting.
His like best friend.
Cousin. Yeah.
Or his cousin.
Cousin, best friend.
Yeah. I thought it was a beautiful book, just written like super well, and I just
taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always looking for book recs.
Yeah. So either of those, I'll look at my list later and send you some more.
Yeah. Are you Goodreads?
I look them up on Goodreads, but I don't have like an app. Yeah, I don't have like an actual account.
Because I always do that because I always go through the end of the year and just write down like the 10 ones that impacted me the most, and
That's
so Goodreads
smart.
just keeps everything straight for me.
I should probably do that.
Recommend it.
Yeah, I'll get on that. Yeah, but I love to read.
Kara, big reader too. Is Alexis?
Yes.
I just kind of lump you three together all the time.
She is. I mean, I don't know if she's as big of one, but I know she's currently reading a book. I couldn't tell you which one, but
Well, I recommend for you the Confident Mind.
Confident Mind.
Every person I've recommended it to, which the list keeps growing and growing. So I got it from Zandamuno. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I have, yeah.
Amazing defender.
Yeah.
Not playing anymore, but she got it from her brother who played professional baseball.
Okay.
And so the guy who wrote it, he's the sports psych at West Point. And it changed my life and career as an athlete. And then everyone I've recommended it to has then since recommended it and said it's like changed how they operate in sports.
Okay, yeah.
So I think Kara's done with it, and I think you could probably borrow.
She has it? All right, I'll ask her for it then. That sounds...
And if she doesn't, Amazon will be here in 25 minutes.
True. Sounds good, yeah.
What's been, like, you strike me as a person who loves competition and loves growth.
Yeah.
Do you, but you kind of, that requires a good relationship with the frustration that comes with that.
Yeah. For sure. A lot of like positive like self-talk, I think, in my head. Like if something goes wrong, it's not like, man, it went wrong. It's like, why did it go wrong? Like, how can we fix that? You know, and like now I know what not to do next time type thing. I don't know, just constantly problem solving, working through.
Yeah. Because it's a hard thing to start a new sport. And you were very successful indoors, and then when you go to beach, like we've seen Olympians from the indoor go and lose in AVP qualifiers first round.
Yeah.
It's a hard, like, how'd your ego do with that?
It was hard. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a lot. Just like having to play with people and like being worried that they got like stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the beginning, because like I would be paired with like more of the veterans at the time, and like just so that they could like kind of teach me how to play, and I would be like, I'm sorry, like I'm still new to this, and I would kind of I'd almost feel bad for them. Yeah. And it was like, this is such a different feeling for me, and like a lot of embarrassment, to be honest, just like putting yourself out there and like messing up a lot. But like that was obviously all part of the process, and it's gotten much easier each year, which is reassuring too. But it was definitely hard going from indoor, where I was way more comfortable, to beach, which kind of just exposed a lot of my like vulnerabilities.
Do you are you comfortable doing that, taking risks like that and being vulnerable?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's kind of what you have to do to like grow, like the whole growth mindset thing. For example, like using my hands this year is like definitely not comfortable, but like it's already gone better just taking the risks. And like I had a double this weekend. I was like, hey, first double, which I was kind of proud, because I could have just bump set it, but I'm gonna go for it with my hands, and next time maybe I'll get the set, you know.
Yeah, so. It's funny because Delaney, she was a bump setter her whole career.
Yeah.
And my thing was never bump set. I put my hands on everything.
Yeah.
And Delaney was coached by Nina Matthews, who's a legend in beach volleyball and one of the greatest coaches ever. And Nina would say why she was kind of like Karch Karai had the same mindset when he was playing, is that why would I allow the ref to potentially take a point? But my theory is that my bump setting would say my hitter would only be able to side out 80% of the balls.
Yeah.
So I could afford to double or lift one or two.
Exactly.
And it would pretty much all work out. But now I have a more confident hitter. But then you end up getting so good at hand setting, they never get called anyway.
Yeah.
And you just have a better hitter.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's at least way more precise for me with the hands, and just easier overall. Like as soon as you get the hang of it, just being able to like mix up, especially like running backs and tempo and everything. So I mean, it's slowly getting more consistent. I think it's helping as I get better. Alexis with her hitting. So yeah, it's worth the risk for me, and also fun this weekend with the Mikasas. I'm like, I feel like I kind of grip it better, so I was going for more than I normally would, and most of the time it paid off. So it's just been fun.
Is it how hard is it going back and forth with the balls?
A little challenging, yeah, but also just making you better. Yeah. But yeah, it was harder today, like setting some of them. I'm like, I'm sorry, Alexis, it's a new ball. we're back to square one. Just let me know if it's not where it's supposed to be. So yeah, but also it's just keeping the mind engaged.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And for viewers who don't know, so the NCAA is with Moulton, but every school can do whatever they want, kind of. So Florida State is the only school that signed with Mikasa. Other schools have Wilson. Other schools have Moulton. I'm sure that there's some other balls floating around there too.
Not that I know of,
And
but
so
yeah.
we get to play with the full package.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a new factor this year, but I don't mind it. And they are the international ball, so it's nice to get a little more comfortable with that if you ever want to play overseas or anything. So.
Do you ever watch volley? Like professionally?
Yeah, I do. I'd say most of the time that I watch it's over the summer because I have more free time,
Okay.
and also I feel like that's the bigger beach season.
Yeah.
Seasons over the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So mainly just watch it over the summer. I love watch. I think beach is like more entertaining to watch than indoor for me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe just like they get to run more cool plays, or I don't know. I think it's just that maybe I don't know. Love the sport more.
I never played indoor, so I don't watch a lot.
Yeah.
When I do watch it, I'm like, every time, especially in men's, if they get a dig, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. That ball moves so fast.
Yeah, the men's game is crazy, but I feel like there aren't as many long rallies in men's either.
No,
they just put it away mostly.
It's an ace, an error, or a first ball side out. Pretty much.
Yeah. I think with women's it lasts a little longer, which can be more entertaining sometimes.
Yeah,
just depends. But
that's cool that you like watching beach more.
Yeah, I don't know, and I was always that way, and I'm not sure why. Like before I even started playing beach, like I remember like one of the summers turning on the Olympics, and I was like, yes, it's beach, not indoor.
Yeah.
I just think it's more fun to watch. Not sure why.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. This is something I try to ask everyone that we have that's sort of Florida State and SANDCAST. What made you want to come to Florida State?
Yeah. I would say like the fact that it was pretty close to home.
Yeah.
Like I feel like 3 to 4 hours is kind of the sweet spot. Like
Yeah.
you can visit home, but it's far enough away where you're not like in the same area.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember visiting campus and like, this is beautiful. Like just walking around, like.
Tallahassee is an underratedly beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of spots. There's some not nice parts to it as well, but.
You get that everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah,
And like Hermosa Beach, 15 minutes away. You're gonna want to stay away from, stay out of the Shadowlands.
Yeah. Everyone has their exactly. But yeah, nice campus, and then also this is kind of funny, but when I committed here, in the back of my mind, I was like, they also have a beach program.
Sweet.
Like, I'm not sure. Like I was like, maybe something will come out of that, and it did. So I guess it was all according to plan. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you came here.
Me too.
It's
it
great
felt
having
right,
you.
and I think it was right. Yeah.
It's working out.
It's working out so far.
Let's keep working out.
Yeah.
I almost just called you Alexis.
Man, yeah.
How was your podcast debut?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Not too nervous?
No, I enjoyed that.
Cool. I didn't make you too nervous?
No.
Okay.
You're easy to talk to, though. I
Cool.
think that's part of the job, I guess.
Sweet. Well, on SANDCAST, we say bye by saying shoots, and then obviously at Florida State, we say go Noles.
Okay.
So we're going to say shoots, go Noles.
Okay.
All right? Shoots.
Shoots.
Go Noles.
Go Noles.
Nailed it.
Cool. Yay.